is Randy Whistler Mitchell. I'm going to explain the charts that go with my new book called English Verb Tenses at a Glance. You can order fold-out charts for students that have all the past tenses, present tenses, and future tenses. They also have all 12 tenses color coordinated with the exercises in the book. Each tense has a set of exercises that is color coordinated with it. And then in the back there's a workbook in the colors of the tenses also. If you don't want to buy the fold-out charts, the charts are included in the back of the book. Okay, let me explain how this chart works. On this chart, we have all of the present and past tenses. This is the line for the present. This is a specific time in the past. Okay, so we start with present simple. Present simple is represented by the orange X's that cross the line representing present. This is because present tense can be used for something that happens all the time. It's used for facts, habits, routines, and generalities. In other words, let's say I love chocolate. That means I probably loved chocolate yesterday, I love chocolate today, and I'll still love chocolate tomorrow. It's a generality. I love chocolate. It's formed by placing an S on the base form verb for third person singular. He, she, it. So I study, but he studies. Okay, the signal words that you find for this tense are never, rarely, seldom, generally, usually, sometimes, always. In other words, these are adverbs of frequency that describe how often we do something. If you see an adverb of frequency, you know you have to use present simple. Okay, the next tense, present progressive. Progressive tenses are represented by the dotted lines that represent an ongoing event. For present, it crosses the line for the present tense. That means something is happening right now. It's formed by adding a form of be with ing on the main verb. So you'd say, I am playing, he is playing, we are playing, they are playing. Like that, you conjugate be to go with the subject. Some signal words that you'll find for present progressive are right now, currently, at the moment. That means something happening right now. It can also represent something that's temporary, a temporary situation, like these days. I'm not feeling well these days. Or let's say this semester I'm studying English. That means it's a temporary event. Okay? Now we come to past simple. This red line represents past simple. It means a specific time in the past. All of the other tenses work around this line, which is a specific time in the past. So when you say the past simple, you use a specific time, like yesterday, last week, last year, one time, last time, words like that. And usually you'll see before and after with the past simple. Okay, so the past simple, of course, is formed by adding an ed to regular verbs and then we have a list in the book of irregular verbs and their spellings and formations. Okay, so past progressive then is an action that was going on at a specific time in the past. So it's formed the same as present progressive, only you change be to was or were and add ing on the main verb. So this line now can represent a specific time in the past, or it can represent an event in the past. So this event starts before the specific time in the past. It can continue on, or it can be interrupted and stop at that time. Let me give an example. I was showering when you called. Okay, so the specific time or event in the past was you called. That's past simple. What was going on when you called? I was showering. So either I stopped here and I answered the phone, or I didn't answer the phone because I was showering. Okay, and signal words that you'll find for that tense are meanwhile, while, at that time, in the meantime, words like that. If you see while, you know that you're probably going to use the progressive tense. Okay, the next tense that I want you to look at is present perfect. Present perfect is a very unique tense in that it is never ever stated with a specific time. That's why I put it in a cloud to help students remember, never say a specific time with the present perfect. Because I hear students all the time, even upper intermediate students, say something like, I have gone to the park yesterday. That does not work. The minute you say a specific time, you have to go back to past simple. Present perfect can take place at any time in the past, 1,000 years ago or 2 minutes ago, up until the time you're speaking. It's hazy and nebulous, like a cloud. The words that go with this tense are also hazy. They're not specific. They're words like ever, never, already, yet, so far. They don't really give a specific time. Words like recently. And of course, the two big signal words you'll see with this tense are since and for. For goes with a length of time. Since goes with a specific time. Okay, so the biggest thing to remember about present perfect is never say it with a specific time. Okay, the next tense is present perfect progressive. This is an event, an ongoing event that started at a specific time in the past and continues up until the present. In other words, I can say, since and for are used a lot with this tense also. If I use since a specific time, right? I have been studying since 2 o'clock, or I have been studying for 2 hours now. So the signal words that you're going to find for this progressive tense are words like for, since, all day, all week, the whole year. The one thing to remember about present perfect progressive or any progressive tense is never say the number of times. In other words, you cannot say, I have been reading this book 3 times, because present perfect progressive is not completed. It's still going on. I have been reading this book. It means I'm still reading it. I'm not finished. Okay, then we have past perfect. Past perfect is represented always by two events in the past. You don't use this tense unless you're talking about the relationship of two past events. Okay, so the first event will go in past perfect. The second event will go in past simple. Okay, before I ate breakfast, I had showered. I had showered before I ate breakfast. Okay, so you'll see past perfect always before another event in the past simple. A lot of times you'll see at that time I had already studied. By then I had already studied. By that time, meaning a time in the past, I had already done something else. And it's formed by putting had plus past participle. Okay? The last tense we're going to look at on this chart is past perfect progressive. This means an ongoing event that was happening until a specific time in the past. In other words, it does not continue. This specific time in the past interrupts the action that had been going on before that. In other words, I had been studying until you called. So you'll still have two events. One will be in past perfect progressive, one will be in past simple. Once you start using these tenses, they're really easy, and you will see that the chart helps you put them all together. The book gives you the signal words that go with each tense, and students have told me that finally, once and for all, they understand the English tenses. Thank you.